close the door. Yeah, there's that. There's a notification. But yeah, I see the big difference between tier 3 and tier 1, that there's a lot more people watching tier 3 rather than tier 1. Myself as well. Probably because it's just people watching.
Let me in.
What?
Trying to get in, but it's not. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I don't.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, F7. There's gonna be more drivers. Okay, there's gonna be more drivers in here. There's still wrong account.
I mean, what? 12 checked in and 5 reserves.
I mean, it's still good amount. I mean, 17. 7 are banana.
Wait.
Bro is commenting from the F7 Twitch accounts. Damn. Thanks, Constella. Even though you said the happy birthdays to me, thanks anyways. What did I want to do? Five flipping for that. I mean, myself, I'm always signed in on my laptop on the House of Racing account, but then on my phone, I am on the GPR account, basically a different league account.
Huh.
I don't know, then, but that's on the site. But then on the app, I'm on my own account, which is weird as hell. But anyways, okay. Do you, K1, want to talk about standings and race results after Hungary, or do you want me to say?
Alrighty. No, that's fine. I got them. I haven't commented in a while, so I guess I should get the hang of it.
When was the last time that you actually commentated?
It was a long time ago.
Like last season, definitely.
It wasn't last season. I never commented once last season.
Wasn't back.
I was supposed to be like commentating like F1 or stuff, but I just never had the chance because you and other commentators were like all the time there. So yeah.
Yeah, DCS as well. And then the time when I was out, then there was.
I think the last time we had comms together, me and you, was like Monaco. Monaco in season.
Probably.
What's it? 3, I think.
3? I wasn't even back then.
Or 4.
4?
When did you join? Season 4, I believe.
Yeah, season 4.
Yeah.
Like for Monaco. Season 4 Monaco. I joined.
Oh yeah, you weren't there season 3, yeah, okay. Season 4, yeah.
Probably in season 4 somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well,
I think the last time was Monaco.
I don't think it's that far back. Like that would have been the first Grand Prix that I commentated here. That's definitely not the last time that we commentated. There were later ones in season 4. Season 5.
Season 5, I never commentated, never.
Damn, I thought you actually commentated back then. In season 5.
No. Okay. Season 1, 2, and no, not season 1. Season 2 and 3, I believe, were the times I commentated.
With Helix.
Quite a lot, yeah, with Helix. It's so weird that we don't talk about him anymore because he's not here in Nature War anymore.
I mean, he was last week. He did a surprise call here in the party before the
Yeah,
race, before I started the stream. Like, he just popped in,
yeah.
and we're talking about some stuff. HOR, how he's
I
been
mean, to be
doing.
fair, he is also your mate, so
I mean,
yeah.
we're not like we're talking every day or even every week or even every month. We don't talk to each other. He just popped in into this party.
Yeah.
But I mean, we still get along, of course, and we still hate BP. Okay,
All right.
yeah, but um, we're supposed to talk about the standings. So you wanna talk about results and standings, or do you want me to take
Yeah,
them?
okay. I'll take those.
Okay,
So
okay.
after like I never saw the last race, so I can't really know what to say. um, I think we had our race winner, which is the rebel of Avziktar.
A a fixer.
A fixture, yeah, and which followed up by Lucas and the Merc and Alpha of Matt. I mean, it was like I think I've seen on YouTube once where like you know, but in the driving sim anyhow, Fixer is oh my god,
A fixer.
Fixer is leading the championship by 36 points to Lucas Stappen from P2, and followed up by the AlphaTauri of Germain. I think I pronounced his name right, Germain.
Yeah, yeah. I say it. German.
And yeah, I think he's been like doing pretty well and all. But as for the let's say constructors, we see AlphaTauri on top um, with 22 points difference from Williams in P2, and Mercedes 94 points have are pretty close. They are pretty close for the championship fights for the last three races. So we hope to see those. As there's only Lucas so far who isn't attending the race in Canada. So I think there won't be much points again if it's only going to be him. So yeah, but we'll see what he can do. And yeah, I mean, apart from like Ferrari and the teams that are like bottom down, they're on mid for like at least top five in the constructors. So
Mm.
yeah, but yeah, I'm excited to see what Canada has in store. It is in fact raining, and in those intermediate conditions, so we have to wait to see. And it's only three races left, so these drivers better hope to score as many points if they want to, you know, be in the fight for the championships. But yeah.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, disappointing. There's so little people in here at the moment. Only
Yeah, it's
11.
disappointing. So far, 11. There's supposed to be um,
There are a lot of
13 people, which are full timers, and
5 reserves, weren't they, as well?
yeah, five reserves.
That's kind of disappointing, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay, so I mean, we're just waiting for the race. There's a fixer in. So, a fixer can win the championship in here, I believe. With him being 36 points in front of Lucas Verstappen, who is not here. Germain is here though, who's 1 point behind Verstappen and 37 behind a fixer. Aegon is not racing, and then everyone outside the top 4 is pretty much out of it. I mean, Igor is not racing. Aegon not racing. Matt, well, he is racing, okay, but he would have to, well, minimum score the same amount of points as a fixer. DRK not racing anymore. Young Shots, he's racing, but he would need to literally win this race and then pray for a fixer not carrying any points. And then Wolf and Wolverine, they're out of the championship anyways now. And as well, by the way, Young Shots would need to take the fastest lap if he would have wanted to still have it. So, a fixer can win it.
Yeah.
If he outscores Germain by about, well, he's 37 ahead of Germain, he would need to, well, if he would be P1, then 25, 15, that's, Germain would be P2, so that's...
Yeah, because like it's only 1 point difference between Lucas Verstappen, which isn't here, so that's gonna affect him in the championship pretty hard in these 3 last races. So you better attend like at least 2 races to keep like his championship hopes.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be very little chance for him to still have something in the championship since there's only 11 people. So yeah, he's probably gonna be out of the championship. And with Germain having good amount of consistency in these races that he has been, he probably will be close to a fixer. So we'll see what they will do. As we are in the qualifying, short qualifying. Can we just turn off my phone? Yeah, wets of course, with the whole race as well. Wet. Is it for inters? Yeah, it's for inters.
Yeah, it is for inters. Throughout the entirety of the race as well, it would be just intermediate throughout.
Yeah, it's only gonna be intermediates. It's crazy how 3 races in a row there has been rain for tier 3, but then for like last season and then the whole this season there has been no rain. It's been dry. Like in the Sahara. It's crazy. Season 5 and now this is going season 6, no rain whatsoever. But then tier 3 at the moment, 3 races in a row, wet. It's mad.
I mean, yeah, and for the fact that for tier 2 that we're having tomorrow, it's also going to be raining for the first time, I believe, in tier 2 so far in this season. So we had dry throughout, and now in tier 3 we're just facing 3 times in a row wets.
It's absolutely mad.
And I doubt it will be obviously in the next final 2 races because it's Qatar and Abu Dhabi in the final 2 races are in the Middle East and in the desert as well. So that we'll see. But go ahead with the Haas, he's starting on his lap.
Yeah, Harley on a flying lap behind him. It is C3 on the flying lap. Of course, Canada being the track that has way too many chicanes in one track. There's like, well, Harley's entering the first one, then he's going to be after this left and then right hand. There's just going to be another chicane. Then after this chicane, there's gonna be a straight with the DRS zone, the first one on the straight. Then after this straight, there's gonna be another chicane, and then exiting that chicane, he's gonna go into the hairpin, the slowest corner in this circuit. Oh, and he invalidates through the third chicane. And C3 behind him has invalidated as well. Yeah, with Harley at the moment exiting this chicane and then going onto the longest straight on this track. There waits another chicane. So 4 chicanes in just one track. A little bit too much in my opinion, but it is what it is.
And
German.
I'm looking at German coming in to finish his lap. Yes, taking the curve nicely and done, and he's gonna cross the line to set a 120.768. Not bad, but he could probably improve a bit more if he could.
Dan invalidated. Hello, Josh. Matt as well invalidated. There's gonna be a whole lot of penalties in this tier. There's gonna be a whole lot of penalties in here. Maybe the whole grid might have penalties. Honestly.
Yeah, and as I experienced on Canada before, I had lots of troubles with track limits, so it is pretty tough to get around here with no pen whatsoever. So
Yeah.
it's not impossible to get any warnings, but it's definitely tough because you got so many chicanes that could invalidate your lap or get your warning leading up to a pen.
Yeah,
so it is pretty tough from my experience.
You can pretty much invalidate in turn 1 if you cut too much of the first curve, then turn 3 if you cut that too much, and then the second chicane, so that will be 6 and 7 as German improves on his time to 120.616. Then this chicane that Matt went through, you can invalidate in those
and
two.
And we see Harley, who was invalidated on his first lap.
Yeah. Hello? Oh. You can't voice chat with K1 due to network
Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
okay.
now I can hear you.
Alright, I was saying that Harley has just set up a lap time of 1 minute 21.9. So, and we see BFC Matt in the Alfa Romeo gets a 119. That's the first driver to achieve in the 19s.
Yep. Who's up probably starting his lap? Yes, he is. Then Kizzy Dizzy is starting his lap. Harley is going to be going into the pits as he's not improving on the flyer. Behind him, it's going to be Germain. Is he no, he's going into the pits as well, with C3 into the pits as well. Then it's going to be Dan and Young Shots on their flying laps, but Dan decides to cut the grass.
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, what did you do that for?
Couldn't be asked, I guess. So Dan goes into the pits, then Young Shots through the final chicane, but he invalidates there. Very easy to do that there, of course, with Young Shots crossing the line, and he would have been behind German by just 5,000. Then A-Fixer starting his flying lap with his teammate Kizzy invalidated his lap. Lucas Champion is on a flying lap. Dan's gonna qualiban. Alrighty. Lucas Champion is gonna cross the line, and where is he gonna go? He's gonna go P2, 119.920. Then behind him it's 2 drivers, but not that they were on a flyers. At least I think so. Kizzy starts his flying.
Yeah, okay.
Can't
I
check
was
it as
gonna
well.
look at it, but let's take a look at Epixer, who is the championship leader. He's just gotten his purple sector 1, I believe, and he's now heading into the hairpin and ending the sector 2 run.
Ooh,
And he
that's...
does get purple, and Dan is just retired.
Yeah, he is gonna qualify, and
Sadly.
Uza
Oh yeah, that's
has
true.
gone straight into a wall as heading into turn 6. Yep, back to A fixer, and with you.
And he is approaching the final corner, the wall of champions, of course, and he gets it nice and done, good exit, and keeps it on the line to keep a minimum distance. What's it gonna be? It's gonna be P3 of 1 minute 20.095. I thought he was gonna be ahead of Matt, but after selling those two purple sectors, but it doesn't seem like it, and he's just let's say 2/10.
Yeah, he lost 2 tenths probably somewhere. Well, I mean, maybe even more, or maybe even less. Kizzy is gonna cross line. He goes P5 120.9535. Lucas Champion was on a flyer, good one, like 2 tenths faster to the second sector, but he invalidated it. So he stays P2 with 19.920. C3 and Young Shots. Well, C3 is on his flyer. Young Shots not, since he's invalidated. A-Fix and not on a flyer. Kizzy through the first sector, 2.5 tenths down on his time. German started his flying lap. Lucas Champion is still driving around the circuit. I guess he invalidated through the final chicane. Closest one to flyer is technically Kizzy, but let's look at German a little bit because he's improving to the first sector by a tenth. As of right now, Kizzy has lost yet another 2.5 tenths through the second sector. So he's not improving on his flying lap, and he doesn't look like to use any sort of ERS, so he's definitely not on a flying lap. And he goes into the pits. Lucas Champion starts his flyer. Then behind C3 through the chicane of Wall of Champions. Doesn't validate there. And where is he going to go? He's going to go P6, 21.818 by the Williams. German is improving by 1.5 tenths. At the moment, that's not going to improve him anywhere. We go into the final chicane. He cut it way too much. And his lap is done, and he stays fourth. He would have stayed fourth anyways. So yeah, A-Fixer improving on his time by 2.5 tenths. Those 2.5 tenths are enough for him to go up Lucas Champion. Yet another lap that has been invalidated by him. A-Fixer now the final 2 corners, the final chicane, the dreadful final chicane is going to invalidate that. No, he won't invalidate. Now it's just the fact, did he go quick enough? Is he going to go for pole position? Yes, he does. By 3 tenths of improvement on Matt.
Oh yeah.
Or I should say up on Matt. Instead of improvement on Matt, but yeah, 3 tenths out of Matt at the moment, 19.553, and at the moment he's on provisional pole position. You wanted to say something?
I mean, yeah, it is a good lap from Afixter, who is in fact leading the championship, and yeah, just good to see him up there, and hopefully get the pole or something. I mean, I do expect him to get pole or something. But let's just wait and see. We got 6 minutes left to the qualifying session. Few people are on the out laps, so we can look into those in a bit.
Young Shot
and we
starts his
see
flying.
Young Shot, and Young Shot has started his flying lap. A good turn 1, goes into third or second, I think, and he goes down into the hardest chicane, where you can validate most of the time, or get a pen. Only gotten the snap. The snap of understeer has caused him to lose a bit of time there, maybe a tenth or so. But oh, and he just had to back out of there because
Yeah, he bailed out.
he got yeah.
Pulled out of the lap. Germain not improving to the first sector. He's 8.5 tenths and he's 1.5 seconds down his time. So he's not on a flying lap. Harley is improving by 3.5 tenths. No, through the final chicane, no invalidation. And is he gonna go in front of C3? Yes, he does. He's gone to P6, 21.743. Still a long way to Kizzy, but hopefully that gap is not going to be as big later on or in the race. But we'll see. Young shots through the final corner. Well, he's going to go P8 with what time? 27.786. So he's at the moment slowest. Uza is on a flyer on the main straight now, heading into the chicane. Still a little bit to the chicane, but now he's gonna turn and doesn't invalidate. I think a little bit slow there, at least in my opinion, but have never driven in Canada in rain, so I don't know. Uza goes P6, 21.057. Yeah, P6. Then Kizzy behind him has started his flyer. A-Fixer comes out of the pits. Lucas Champion starts his lap. Young Shots is improving by 4 cents through the first sector already. Yellows, that's just Uza letting through. Harley going into the pits. Kizzy just a tiny bit down his time by 8 thousandths, so it's not like he's down his time massive. Lucas Champion is down his time a little bit more. He's by a tenth down. A-Fixer still on his outlap. Young Shots of improvement on his lap. A little bit slow on the entry into the onto the final chicane. A little bit of a snap on the exit, and Young Shots is surprisingly gonna go P2, 19.823 by the Haas driver. So he's in front of Matt at the moment. Lucas Champion is improving on his lap by 2.5 tenths. Let's look at Kizzy, who is in front of him. A-Fixer starts his flyer. Kizzy through the final chicane. It's just about to invalidate on the final corner. Lucas Champion, is he going to invalidate as well? No, he doesn't invalidate on the exit of the final chicane. Where is he going to go? Maybe partial pole position. Just behind him, 6 thousandths behind him. Ay, so close between A-Fixer and Lucas Champion. Look, but A-Fixer, half a second through the first sector already.
Oh my god.
This man is absolutely flying. Put him in tier 2 next season. Tier 2 next season. Up there. Straight up. He doesn't need to be in here. He's 4 tenths still up on his time. This man is absolutely mad. In terms of tier 3, of course. I'm talking about tier 3 pace, of course.
Yep. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I mean, let's be real, of course, the tier guys, the tier 1 guys would probably put 2 seconds on those laps in the inters. Not saying that tier 3 is just a bunch of bananas driving. And as A-Fixer improves on his time, lost time through the second and third, but still 2.5 tenths up on his time. And he extends his gap to almost 3 tenths in front of Lucas Champion, 19.281. And to get back to the thing that I was saying, of course, tier 1 guys would be going up a lot faster, but at the moment, A-Fixer is a little bit too fast for tier 3 in my opinion, at least for now. This is like Wizzy Boy stuff in here. A little bit. But actually A-Fixer is actually leading the championship and could be winning the championship here, unlike Wizzy Boy, who bottled the championship to Darwizzy or Consola.
I mean, yeah, I did see all the battles happening once, but yeah.
I mean, pure pace, in my opinion, Wizzy Boy was faster than Consola, but Consola had his consistency through the season. So, I mean, in the end, consistency wins you the championship, usually. If the other driver is being like Charlotte Clay in 2022. Afixer on his final flying lap as Ronan Soros starts his flying lap. Probably Harley stopped in the hairpin. Matt starts his flyer probably. Then
And
Mercedes
I'm looking
behind.
sorry to break it to you.
Yeah, go.
And I'm looking at Jeremiah, who has set it fastest sector 2. Not sure about sector 1, but he is like on the verge. If he could get the World Champions correctly, he should be able to move.
Validated.
He bottled it at the last corner, so he could have gotten 19.7.
Yeah, P3.
Yeah, somewhere around that.
This man, put him into tier 2 right now. 2.5 tenths are up on his time through the second sector. This man is absolutely flying. This man is Max Verstappen of tier 3 at the moment. Lucas Champion is improving by half a second through the second sector, almost 6 tenths. Oh, this is going to be close for the pole position. Afixer is going to come across the line. He's going to improve on his time, but by how much is he going to go? 18th? No, he won't. He lost time through the final sector. And it's 119.1604. Afixer. Lucas Champion can definitely take this pole position away from Afixer through the final chicane. Clean enough for no penalty, and Lucas Champion goes provisional pole position, 19.057 and it is pole position for Lucas Champion by a tenth ahead of Afixer. 119.054 for Lucas Champion, Afixer 19.160, and then there's a 7-10 gap between from Afixer to Young Shots with 0.823, Matt 0.842, and then there's another 7 tenths to P5. But as we see, it's been split into few splits in here. We have the Lucas Champion and Afixer, then it's Young Shots and Matt, and then there's the rest, and then we have Harley in P10 with ironically 7 tenths behind CT.
I mean,
so yeah, and then we have Jacob and Dan with quali bands. So yeah, interestingly, good.
It was a good. Sorry.
Go.
It was in fact a good lap from Lucas. So disappointing for Afixer though. He could have went on an 18.9 or something through that final run, but he seemed like he messed it up at the World of Champions or something, and yeah, that costed him like.
Yeah, I mean he lost a tenth there. He lost a tenth through the third sector.
Yeah. But anyhow, we'll see how it goes on in the race, and it's gonna be. I'm guessing it's gonna be chaos into turn 1 because, as I've had experience with Canada before, it always happens. It always happens into turn 1, unless they're gonna keep it clean. I would be surprised if they would keep it clean into turn 1. But
and then there's as well the penalties that will happen. A lot of them. Maybe even could someone get disqualified for getting too many penalties. I mean, it is so ridiculous in here. Especially with Inters now, you can't abuse the track limits as much.
Yeah.
Okay, as we go, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 red lights. It is gonna be 5 red lights out, and away we go here in the race. Lucas Champion, well, I mean, everyone is going to be walking down, but Lucas Champion into the lead, into turn 1. Aphex is side by side with Youngshots into turn 1 and 2. Youngshots is still side by side with him. Youngshots and Aphex are still there, but it looks Aphex is in front of Youngshots going into turn 3. Youngshots was getting a little bit attacked by by himself, by Matt, but it looks like Youngshots stays third at the moment behind Darvik, and oh, there's Darvik and Jacob. Contact between them. Darvik spun round, front wing damaged, and his race has gone terrible at the very beginning of the race, involving himself and Jacob Mykander, who, as I kind of heard, he doesn't have a great history of clean drivingness at the moment. That's what I heard. Uza has lost 6 positions. Who's fighting with Jacob? Contact between them, but can't overtake him into the hairpin. But yeah, Uza has lost 6 positions on the first opening lap. That's mad. As Harley and C3 are side by side and try to overtake Kizzy, but Kizzy depends. There's contact. Harley almost went into the back of Kizzy almost there, and then Kizzy and C3 had contact. Lucas Champion fastest lap as Aphex is on the inside of Lucas Champion, and they're going side by side on the exit of turn 2, and going into turn 3 they're going to be still side by side, and Aphex is in front of Lucas Champion. And as of right now, Aphex can win the championship with Germain getting outscored by 15 points. BAFC Matt has overtaken Youngshots, who went wide into turn 6. Mykander and Harley side by side through turn 6 and 7. They're still side by side on this back straight on the third DRS zone, but of course no DRS while it's wet, so the DRS is as useless as I don't know, watching paint drying on a wall. They're still side by side. There's a little bit of contact maybe, or just Jacob has lost it himself, but it looks like Harley is in front of Jacob. Aphex has gone away from Lucas Champion to a good gap of 9/10 as of right now. Matt is behind of Lucas. Ronan, new fastest lap of 21.676.
Oh, what the? Oh, no, my God. I thought there was Matt getting on this or something, but no.
Uza, Jacob, side by side. Uza is in front of Mykander. Jacob is still there. He's still there. Still there. Not anymore. Uza goes wide. Oh. And Jacob does not... Well, he actually does get a good exit. And Jacob is in front of Uza, but Uza sends it back on Jacob. Contact between them, and Jacob has got, well, sliding. And then saw the two fighting in front of him, so takes the third one to... there's contact, so much contact between them. And both of them cut the chicane. Could that mean that Jacob is gonna take the 2 positions, at least from Dan, because he's on this inside in the chicane. Dan goes into the back of Uza, and Jacob takes the 2 positions, although Jacob and Uza are still side by side. Meanwhile, in front, Aphex and Lucas went side by side into the final chicane, and Lucas having a better exit, and maybe Aphex as well just letting Lucas through. He's in front, but Aphex sends it around the outside. Beautiful one, and now on the inside, Aphex is going to be inside, and there's a safety car. Uza is in the wall.
Yeah, he spun it at the World of Champions, and he lost his front wing, and he was nearly getting stuck on the curb right over there. I was watching the panel between Red Bull of Aphex and Lucas Champion. They were battling, literally battling, and Lucas could have had a move done there into turn 1, but yeah, he couldn't do anything because Aphex defended.
Alright, sorry.
Yeah, and it has caused a safety car because of Souza getting contact and losses from wing entirely, and that's what's caused the safety car. And we have and two penalties has been seen. Darvik gets 10 seconds somehow. I don't know where he got that from.
Someone on the House of Racing account, that's not me, said that he got a pen for collision with Uza. Jesus Christ, there's a lot of yeah, he has severe collision with Uza, so Darvik could have rear-ended Uza. But we'll see. Ooh, Wayfixer gets a 3 seconds under the safety car.
Oh yeah, we don't see that much often, getting a track limit warnings on
That's interesting.
under a safety car. Yeah,
C3
I don't think we ever seen that before.
No, we have probably seen it somewhere. Was a
for me.
was a 5 second speed in the pit lane. C3 in the pits, as well as Jacob in the pits for new wing. C3, did he as well pit for new wing? No, he didn't, just for new tires. Darvik yet again into the pits, probably getting one of those 5 seconds off. Yeah, and yeah, he's taking that 5 seconds. And now we have time. If it finishes like this, then I think Afixer is going to be the champion. Who's the fastest lap? Probably, yeah. No, Germain has the fastest lap, so I think mathematically it's still going to be on. Although, to be fair, with, I mean, 15 points. I mean, the safe would be P1 and P6. So Afixer would be P1 and the German would be P6. So that will be for a P6 you get 8 points. So yeah, that'll be then 40. No, not 14. 25. 17 points. So that would be enough for Afixer for the championship, because then the gap would be, instead of 52 for P5, it would be 54. So Afixer can win it, but with that penalty, it's not looking likely at the moment. Although still we have like 10 laps to go. 10 laps, 20 laps to go. I accidentally halved the race distance.
Guess that happens.
Yeah, that happens. That would have been a probably a spin then. Darvik yet again into the pits to take that 5 second off. Uza could have done that the same, but he didn't.
Oh, what the? Uza also nearly made contact with Jacob. He late braked, as I seen, and Jacob is apparently giving the position to Osasosa. Nothing makes add up. I mean, nothing adds up here.
Nothing makes sense in tier 3.
Okay.
Oh, Uza has spun it. I think if Afixer outscores German by 17 points, that makes him a champ. I mean, the gap is 37 points, isn't it, between them? Darvik 3 seconds on penalty under the safety car.
I saw that, yeah, and Darvik was the only one who was not yet to catch up after pitting for his 5 second.
You can talk at the moment.
What? So we'll look at Afixer, who has got a good restart and has gained up 7 tenths away from P2, from Lucas as well. But Lucas is trying to gain all the time back, as we've seen. We see Osasosa going wide into turn 1, I believe, and he's lost like a few positions there. And
one. Or technically no one, because he's back in his original position.
Yeah, that's true. And Ethics with a 3-second penalty has gained up 1.5 seconds from Lucas Champion, and he tried to get away as much as possible to try to win the race in with the 3-second time penalty. So he could probably gain a lot of time if he just stays consistent. If he can just get all the corners that right, and he can gain up a lot of time. And we see Young Shots closing in on Matt with the help of Slipstream, and I mean we'll just have to wait and see, because these top 5 drivers are horrible. Like,
you didn't get to. You talk. Go on.
And Afixer got the fastest lap of 1 minute 21.527, and yep, you're saying?
Okay, so yeah, like I said, Afixer fastest lap behind Dan and Jacob side by side. A little bit of contact between them, but it is Jacob in front of Dan going into turn 3. So Dan closed in on Jacob a little bit there. Darvik, new fastest lap, retakes the fastest lap from Afixer at 21.433. Yeah, like I said, Afixer has gone away from Lucas Champion, but Lucas Champion is closing in on Afixer at the moment. And the gap has gone down to only 1 second, 1.1 seconds or from 1.5 to 1 second. Not even 1 second, it's under a second. It's 9/10ths between the two. But the gap has risen from Lucas to Matt. It is 1.2 seconds. So with Afix's 3-second time penalty at the moment, he would be in front of Germain. So between Germain and Young Shots as of right now, but still the race is long. We only start lap 9 out of 25, so there's still a long race to go as CT and Harley side by side into turn 1. Harley's gonna try and stick it around the outside, but he can't. Doesn't have the momentum, and C3 is still in front of Harley. Uza 3-second time penalty. The gap now has stayed consistent with Afixer and Lucas Champion. A little bit. Afixer gaining a little bit of time on the exit of turn 6 and 7. It's 1.3 seconds between them. These two will be the ones to watch in this race, what they will do in front. And the gap has gone up between Afixer and Young Shots, and at the moment it would look like Afixer would be in front of Young Shots and behind Matt. And the gap is still rising. Jacob and Harley side by side into the chicane. Harley looks to have overshot the corner, but Jacob hits Harley in the back. And they're side by side on the exit of that hairpin, and now as they're heading into the final chicane and the final 2 corners, Harley is in front of Jacob. So Harley stays in P9, but is Jacob gonna get a better exit? He uses a lot of his ERS. He's gonna try and gain with the slipstream, and Jacob on the outside is gonna stick around the outside, and now he has the inside into turn 2. Beautiful move by Jacob, and now he has to watch out for Harley not to get a good exit, and he doesn't get a good exit. So that's Jacob up into P9 in front of Harley. Beautiful overtake by Jacob through turns 1 and 2.
Oh! And we see German and who was it? The Young Shots. Yeah, I saw what happened there. I believe German was like planning on making a move, and it just made contact with Young Shots, and that forced Young Shots to spawn out.
So that's Germain has what, 3 seconds. So basically Germain re-rendered Young Shots.
Yeah.
That is championship probably done for Germain at the moment. Although still Afixer still has that 3 seconds. But the gap is rising between Afixer and Matt, and the gap is enough for Afixer to be in front of Matt. So he would only drop to P2. the Ronan Soares. Ronan, I will just call him. It is up to P4 because of that all that shenanigans that happened. Young shots down to P9, Jacob P8, C3 P7, Dizzy P6, and then Germain P5. With probably Young shots reporting that, and now Germain as well having a 3 seconds. He'll probably drop down even more than he would want to. With 3 seconds, he would probably drop down to P9, and then with probably 5 seconds that he would get, he would probably drop down to P11 as of right now. C3 and Jacob. C3 gets a horrid exit out of the turn 7, and that's Jacob in front, but C3 is going to try and look for a move outside. Oh my goodness me. C3 was trying to go for the gap. That's... Well, it was going to close the yellows. Behind, that's Young Shots. No, that's Harley and Uza. Yet again, the Uza involved in an accident. And he drops down. Well, he stays P11 because he overtook Harley technically. But that's then up to P10.
Oh, what?
Jacob and C3 P7.
And after the spin of Harley and Uza, we see Harley getting a 5-second penalty for corner cutting, and I seen in the hairpin that only late braked a lot, and that forced Uza to.
Did he just go in? Did he just go into the back of Uza?
Yeah, Harley late braked a lot. That was not ideal.
He probably just straight lined him. I'm not gonna lie. Jacob 3 seconds. As he overtakes Kizzy for P6. Oh, yeah, Kizzy almost lost it. Germani, yet another 3-second time penalty. The first way to get a 6 second, or basically a double. No, actually, Uza has. Matt 3 second as well. So yeah, that's definitely a fixer P2 at the moment, with the penalties being applied for more and more drivers. C3 and Kizzy side by side going into the hairpin. C3 trying to go around the outside, but Kizzy has the inside. C3 absolutely overcooked the corner, not even side by side with Kizzy. Now he's side by side with Young Shots on the exit, and Young Shots took the P8 from him. The AFC 5 seconds as he pits into the pits, of course. Young Shots overtakes Kizzy as Kizzy just lets him through. Germain as well into the pits. Now Young Shots and Kizzy side by side going into turn 1, but that's Kizzy almost 3 wide into turn 1 that was. But Young Shots is in front of Kizzy somehow, with C3 behind Kizzy, but they're side by side on the exit, and C3 is on the inside of Kizzy, and ooh, contact, that's C3 spun in turn 3. And he's dropping down to P8 and loads of seconds behind of Kizzy now. So disaster for C3 at the moment. That guy Germain down to P11 with Harley P13, 5 seconds as well. And yeah, Matt down to P7. That's of course one less driver that just overtake because of what's happened between C3 and Kizzy. When are these in top gonna pit? Lucas Champion is still keeping up with A-Fixer within that 3 seconds. He's cooking at the moment. A-Fixer, I think he's just about extending that gap, but not enough for A-Fixer to get away from Lucas Champion's 3 seconds. So we'll see what they will be. What they'll be doing. And is Lucas Champion gonna get a penalty in any part of the race? The two McLarens are absolutely cooking at the moment, with Ronan in P3 and Jacob in P4. Of course, Ronan hasn't pitted yet. Because you can probably do a zero stop maybe in this race, but that's a slight gamble as Germain is trying to overtake Dan for P9 at the moment, and he's not able to overtake him anywhere at the moment. Too far back to overtake Dan. Maybe into the hairpin. There's gonna be a good run up there, but does he get a good run up? There's yellows in the flipping hairpin, but nothing has happened there. Germain sends it down inside on Dan, and now he's up to P9. BFC Matt and Kizzy side by side, but Kizzy just lets Matt through. Of course, with Kizzy being on older inters and Kizzy himself going into the pits, of course you don't want to extend or to go too fast into the pits. Dan as well into the pits. You want to take the stick?
Yeah, sure. And I was looking through the race director, and I've noticed something from our beloved race leader, A-Fixter. He has gotten A2 warnings, and as you can see, Germain has gotten ahead of the C3 there, and that's amazing move from there. But I was always saying, A-Fixter is one warning away from getting a 6-second time penalty, so he has to retain the gap because he's almost 3 seconds from Lucas Champion. So, yeah, that's gonna affect the Apexer by quite a lot if he does get a 6 second.
Yeah, but of course, as well for Lucas, he needs to watch out for him. I'm gonna look myself for Lucas Champion's penalties. He only has one at the moment. 2 he has. Lucas Champion has 2. So he's nearly in a 3 seconds himself. Young shots into the pits. Of course, with Germain being down in P7 at the moment, of course now we're taking young shots. But Germain having 6 seconds and probably 5 seconds wandering around him. What's happened between himself and young shots, he'll be a lot more down than he would like. And maybe the championship is going to be gone in this Grand Prix. Maybe A-Fixer is going to actually win this race, as A-Fixer has pulled the gap of 3 seconds on Lucas Champion at the moment. Lucas Champion is a little struggling on the grip, and A-Fixer is in front of Lucas Champion by over 3 seconds. It's 3.4 seconds between them. So at the moment, A-Fixer is winning the championship if it finishes like this, but Germain has already pitted, whilst the top 3 has not. Yes, Jacob has pitted, but he's on 11 old tires, so we will see how he will do on them. Yeah, we'll see how the drivers in front will be doing, and as well, if they'll be pitting, and if they will, then when, then 3 second time penalty. But wait, somehow Kizzy is in P12, 2.6 seconds behind Dan. I don't remember him spinning or anything. I don't get it. How is he so far behind? Germain in the meantime, new fast lap 21.335. A-Fixer is extending the gap on Lucas a lot quicker than previously he was. So A-Fixer is cooking at the moment. He's absolutely cooking like Gordon Ramsay. Of course, if he gets another penalty, then he probably is not cooking as Gordon Ramsay. He's probably cooking like I don't honestly know what to compare it, honestly. And yeah, of course, another 3 second wouldn't be ideal. But if he gets one, then he has to just live with it. As Young Shots and Darvik close, but Young Shots is in front of Darvik. So yeah, Young Shots is still in front of Darvik. In the meantime, Uza and C3 close between themselves. It's half a second between them.
But look at what HOUSEOFRACING can do, because he has a lot of ERS than C3, and oh, I thought they were gonna close up the naked contact or something, but
Darfik, 3 seconds.
another 3 second, wow, and we were right about a track limit. Lots of people will get penalty, and look how much we've gotten. We can't even see how many numbers we got, but yep. Oh, what the?
Oh,
and we see. Was it, yeah, like losing a position to a young shot.
Yeah.
But Darfik just. I mean, HOUSEOFRACING like made contact with Darfik there.
Close between Darfik and Uza, but as well, Youngshot's going for the overtake on DC. And C3 is trying to come back at him, and there's contact between them both off track. And is there going to be contact furthermore? I mean, they're still side by side on the exit of that chicane. Wuza is looking behind, trying to look for a move. Youngshot's around the outside. Is he going to make it? Yes, he will. No, yes, he will. He will get a better exit. But Wuza behind is getting overtaken by Darfik. They're side by side on the exit of the hairpin. And who's gonna use more ERS and who has the better straight line speed? It looks like Uza has a bit more straight line speed. But of course, Darfik now on the inside and side by side, still between them. Uza goes between or straight through the sausage curbs. Just drifted through the final corner. Of course, with hitting Darfik a little bit there, but I mean that was very close between them, a little bit.
But yeah, it was not like pretty ideal, and yep, but it has happened. And we see Darfik, we see T3 letting by Darfik through, probably to help out Darfik, as he's probably getting a bit of time. But
who has more penalties? Darfik has more penalties though. I mean, to be fair, Uza has 14 seconds, so. Ooh, C3 almost went into the back of Darfik, but as well, Uza went wide in the hairpin. So both of them did the same thing. Well, not Uza did not almost run into his teammate, but you get the point. Lucas Champion and Afix are still out there on those tires, not pitting. That's a very interesting strategy by them. German is still in P6, but he's catching Matt, who is catching Jacob, who is kind of catching Ronan. Or there's all close between each other. They're under 2 seconds between each other. So maybe in the final laps we could see some sort of fight between the two McLarens and the two Alphas. Of course, the two different Alphas, but still you pronounce the same Alpha. Or maybe you pronounce them differently, but honestly, it doesn't sound. Honestly, it's like comparing Coke and Pepsi. Like, once you start comparing them, then maybe yeah, you see the difference. But if you're just drinking one day and then the other the second day, then you probably won't see the difference, in my opinion. At least I don't see the difference in them. Afixer started lap 21 out of 25. He's going to his win, and maybe even the championship win at the moment. German has 6 seconds, and that 5 seconds is still wandering around him. Maybe even 10 seconds. Maybe that is still up there. So yeah, P7. No, P6 actually. So the position that German is on is the one that would be able to for Afixer to win the championship, but Matt at the moment has 8 seconds of penalties, while German has 6. Yes, German still has that rear ending of young shots still around him. So we'll see what will happen between them, but Matt is close on Jacob. Those 8-lap-old Inters are in way better condition than those 16-lap-old Inters. So Matt is close on Jacob, but not close enough to make a move into the 2 final chicanes. And if you're on the exit of the 2 final chicanes, no, he's way too far back. He's 6/10 behind Jacob, who is 1 second behind Ronan. Ronan is the only one in this fight for P3 that hasn't got a penalty, so he doesn't really need to fight these too much. He can just try and let these drivers just take out each other. He doesn't need to risk that much for his podium. So we'll be seeing, of course, young shots with these 4 in front, getting close, and will be battling in the next laps. He's going to be closing on Germain a lot as Harley pits in the pits. Germain, 3-second time penalty, yet another one. So that means that he is the driver in this 4 that has the most penalties. Matt with 8 seconds, Germain with 9. So this is definitely Germain with P6 at the moment. But now with young shots in here where he is, could he be able to put Germain down to P7? We'll see. Germain is trying to go for the move on Matt into turn 1 and getting a better exit. Oi, Germain losing it completely through the first corner. Almost taking out Matt and Jacob. Almost a total recreation of 2014 final lap in real life. Oh my goodness me, but that means that Matt is up to P4, but Germain and Mike Kander are still side by side. Germain could be getting another penalty because of that, because he technically, well, I mean, he cut the corner and then almost took out Jacob. That was very dangerous by Germain. I mean, you could confidently say that Germain is going to be down to P7 because Young Shots is within his 9 seconds. So we could say that Afixer is the champion as of right now, with him in P1 and Germain down in P6 with Young Shots no penalties at the moment and Germain with 9 as of right now on track. So we'll be seeing what is going to be the decision with those penalties, but I don't think it's going to be a surprising one that Germain is going to get a penalty for those two. But we'll be seeing as Afixer has started the penultimate lap of the Grand Prix, and then the next one is probably going to be his championship lap, which is going to decide if he's going to be the champion or not. Germain is still trying something, but with those 9 seconds and with those incidents hanging around him, he won't be able to do anything in this race. Matt is trying something on Ronin. Germain is trying something on Jacob, but Jacob has only 3 seconds. Germain has 9 seconds. So he won't be able to do anything. Young Shots 7.6 seconds behind Germain. This is looking terrible for Germain at the moment, as Afixer is going to be heading down to the main straight that he's on at the moment and heading to the final chicane of the track, and then he is going to start the final lap of the Grand Prix. Now he just needs a clean final lap. No penalties whatsoever. He, Lucas and Ronan have pulled an absolute masterclass at the moment with no pit stops. That has paid them absolutely beautifully at the moment. As well, that safety car helping them. Oh, Germain out! In the pits. So this means Afixer is the champion. He just needs to finish. He just needs to cross the line. He just needs to cross the line. Even if he gets that, probably that penalty that would give him the 6 seconds, he would be still in front of Germain and Lucas Champion, enough for the championship, as Afixer is heading to the final sector of the Grand Prix, and the final sector before he is gonna win the Tier 3 Season 6 championship in the first season of Tier 3. And now in the main straight, and then heading into that one final chicane. We don't care what's happening behind. Afixer through the final chicane, exiting that beautifully, and he's gonna be weaving through the whole straight because he knows that he is win the Canadian Grand Prix, and most importantly for him, he is the Tier 3 Season 8 champion of the HOR, beating Lucas Champion by 1.5 seconds through the line. He's done an absolutely exceptional job this whole season, as well with Ronan now in this Grand Prix in P3, Jacob P4, Matt P6, Youngshots Matt P5, Youngshots P6, Darfik P7, that's going to be Uza P8, although with all those penalties, he's really going to be lost, with Kizzy P8, CT P9, and then Dan P11, getting a final 3 seconds. And Uza with all those penalties, he's going to be behind Kizzy, behind CT, and behind Dan. But we all know who is the champion, and the champion of Season 3 is, you say it, yeah, Afixer is the champion of Tier 3.
Amazing drive from Afixer, honestly. And what it has been entertaining race, and for us as a commentator, and for me at least, coming back into comms for probably in months, and we have witnessed a champion. I have witnessed a champion as I got back on the commentary box, and on the top step of the podium for Afixer, and that well-deserved championship for the drivers.
Yeah.
And it is a pretty good points for McLaren boys, because they just finished the 3 and 4, so that's gonna help out with constructors, but not help in the medal fights, because they were in like in 9th position in the constructors, so they're gonna grab points and hopefully be battling for people, for the teams in top 5.
By the way, surprisingly that Afixer has won the championship, but Red Bull is down in P6. With 62 points. While Afixer has 106. Absolute madness. But yeah. AlphaTauri hasn't scored any points. Mercedes will be catching up to Williams and AlphaTauri, but yeah, the most important thing that we have seen this race and in this championship, the Drivers' Championship, is that Afixer is the Tier 3 champion of season 6 of HRA and the first season of Tier 3. Amazing this season that he has been, and I think only like one race he has been without a podium, or like the top 5, I believe. Just check. Okay, 2, but then so first 3 races on the podium. Then UK is 4th, Italy a little bit of a stinker, but then coming back strong in Belgium, 3rd, and then now with back-to-back wins, from his first win to a second win in a row for Afixer here in Canada. And yeah, the constructors are still wide open for everyone. That's gonna be still the championship going on to the final race of the season, probably. But drivers is already done. like I said for many times now, Afixer is a champion, and now only the P2 is for the fight. And honestly, I don't have anything else to add really, other than the driver today is Afixer. Um, do you have anything else to add?
I mean, after messing up like my pole, probably would have helped him to get into tier 2 probably, and
Yeah, he's probably gonna go.
that just stopped him by messing up into the World Champions. But yeah, it has been a good drive from him once again, a fixture, and yeah, amazing drive.
Yeah, nothing else really much to add. He's probably gonna go up to tier 3, unless he can't make Fridays 6 p.m. 8 p.m. is the race for me, but in my time zone, but not in UK. The 8 p.m. is the for UK. It is 8 tier 1, whilst tier 1 is for at 10 for me. Anyways, so you have nothing else to add. I have nothing else to add. So
yeah,
my voice will be heard in tomorrow at pretty much the same time. But yeah, next week is gonna be Lusail International Circuit, probably the most boring track to watch, and probably for racing as well. Almost impossible to overtake, really, with the ERS management being to absolute zero.
Yeah, and probably the worst track for the tires, the fuel. It burns a lot of
The
fuel.
fuel, the fuel,
it's gonna
the ERS
be
for racing. I mean, for time trials, it is pretty fun track, but for racing and that's the most terrible track. Even Monaco is flipping better. At least Monaco has some sort of challenge.
Yeah.
But enough of that Lusail Circuit rant. My voice is gonna be tomorrow, and T3 is gonna be next week in Lusail International Circuit. So ciao.